All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at some really cool limited edition Seiko models that maybe not everyone is aware of. This is a pilot style watch, and these are from the Nano Universe line. They've done a bunch of different models. I have noticed them in the past. This is the first one I've actually had my hands on. And it is very cool. I love those applied indices, or numerals, rather. And I really like those hands, the sword style hands. Nice matte dial. Very well executed, as with most Seikos are. Really nice case shape. You can see it kind of bevels and rounds out there. And then it has a display back, but it is very dark tinted. You can see the rotor in there, kind of, but it is super dark. You're not really going to get a good look at it. So, the model number for this guy is a SCVE045, and these are limited edition. I don't know if you caught that on the back. It's actually numbered. This is number 117 of 300. So truly a limited. It's not like one of those ones where there's 3,000 of them or even more, and they call it limited, or even the ones that are special editions where they're not even limited. So these are actually limited edition. Nice drilled lug holes. Real quick, I'm going to go over the measurements though. This is a 42.3 millimeter case, so it's just a hair over 42, and it definitely wears like a solid 42, even with that nice bevel on the case that Seiko masters. The lug to lug is a 49.2 millimeter, and the thickness is only 12.2. So that's, that's not amazing, but it's definitely not too thick. That's a good thickness for this size watch, I think. And it has a 20 millimeter lug width. Comes on this leather. This is totally good leather. I think once this breaks in, this will wear nice, and you could definitely mix it up. Bruce just showed it in his video with a strap that he has. Looks great on that, and I think you have endless possibilities between NATOs and Perlons and leather and whatever else you want to do. And I'm going to show you here in a minute on some other models that are under this similar line, this Spirit or Nano Universe. There's a bunch of different versions of it. Or maybe not a bunch, but there's enough versions that I think you're going to be able to find one you like. And I also want to talk about one that I looked at early on when I was getting into watches, and I can still kick myself for not buying one. I wanted to, and I didn't, and I kick myself in the butt every time I look at one because the prices have skyrocketed on those, and I'll show you those in a minute. And it also leads me to believe that the same thing will happen with these guys. Now, I could be wrong, but even when I'm wrong, I'm right. So, no, but really, guys, when you're talking only 300 of this particular model, you guys can look at the history. Look on eBay or any other auction site or forum. When you're talking truly limited production Seiko models, especially when they're actually good-looking ones like this, or even some of the crazy ones, they go up in value. You guys, nobody can deny that. I've had many people comment in my videos, not many, but a few comments saying, you can't count on a watch going up and stuff like that. But if you look at history, history helps you predict the future. That's all I'm basing a lot of my predictions on, is look at history. So, and you can definitely tell that with Seiko and many other brands, but definitely with Seiko in the limited production, there's value there. You're going to at least retain value or gain in value. Before I show you real quick on the iPad, I'm going to show you a couple other models. I didn't charge this or anything, but I'm just curious to see what kind of lume we get. Yeah, I mean, standard Seiko affair there. We have some backlighting and everything like that, but I mean, pretty much any of the newer Seikos, you're going to get pleasant lume. Let's just say that. All right, so I think we looked at the watch enough. We've seen a wrist shot. We've seen a lume shot. I went over the measurements. I went over the limited aspect. Now let's take a quick look at, sorry for the movement. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to shut this light off so we don't have some glare. Here's some other models, okay? You can see the part numbers. You can see the models. There's an all black one. That one looks really good too. I do like the the satin case on the one I showed you on the 45, but there's a 39, there's a 41 that's kind of like a stealth version. Not a huge fan of that, but I know definitely that is some people's thing. And then you have like a weird, I don't know if that kind of looks like camo, but I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of print. This is that model right here. This is a Spirit one or whatever, and these came in like, you've seen a blue one over there too to the left. Here's a yellow one, they had a red one and a blue one. This is that one I was talking about that I really wish I would have bought back in the day when these were only like $200 or $300. Now this was early on when I was starting to get into automatic watches, and at that time I was like, man, that's a lot of money for that. And I didn't even know what the heck I was doing then. I certainly know a little bit more now, not that I know what I'm really doing even now, but I mean, look at the price. It's gained almost $1,000. I think those were $300 or under $300 when I was looking at them back when they first came out. Now that's what it's listed for. I don't know what it's selling for. Here's a blue one, 800. The blue looks really good. I really liked that red one, but look at the price. I mean, it's $1,200. There's the yellow one, $1,200. I mean, now these ones, I haven't seen one of these ones either, and I haven't really tracked those. I'm not sure if those ones are going to go up as much. I think you still have to have that cool factor, and I think those definitely have the cool factor, and I definitely think this one has that cool factor. I think this is something that once they're all sold, then the prices start climbing. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's one of those things that's going to be kind of a safe purchase, if that makes sense. If you want to wear it a little bit, not mark it up too much, or even just try to keep it clean, and then with the option of resale. But I never really advocate that. I flip too quick anyway. I don't usually try to make money on watches. I typically lose money on watches, in fact. So, but even in losing some, there's some logic behind losing as little as possible, if that makes sense. So anyway, there's a quick look at that guy. Tell you what I want to do real quick before we shut the camera off here on this one. I also want to kind of show it next to, let me turn this light back on. I want to show it next to, so this is the Certina DS1 automatic. So you get a little bit of side-by-side there. These would be comparable. Personal opinion, I like the Swiss-made Certina a little bit more. But this thing, I mean, they're not a comparable watch as far as overall design. But here it is next to the Alpinist that everyone loves. You have a close to the same lug to lug. The Alpinist is a little bit smaller, obviously, in all dimensions, except for thickness. But definitely some cool options here. I think at the around $300 price tag, this could be a safe purchase. And worst case scenario, you got a really cool watch to wear. So. See you on the next video. Guys, I forgot to add. I was going to try to put the thanking somebody at the end of the video, and I totally screwed that up, so I had to turn the camera back on. But big thanks to Adam. I'll put a link to his channel. He just changed the name again on it, but I'll put a link down there. He has a really good thing going and very, very good content, and he's just a good dude and fun to watch. So, and also... So originally, Adam sent this to Bruce to review. Bruce reviewed this one. So if you've watched Bruce's videos too, you've already seen it. And then and now I need to send it back to Adam. So big thanks to Bruce and Adam, mostly Adam, for lending this in though.